In today's video, it's all about the little things that make a house feel like a home. The kind of things that don't cost much, but bring a lot of comfort. Today I'll be taking you through some quiet moments in our small home. From the paintings I've made and hung up with love, to a pantry makeover that's been on my list forever, to cooking up one of Tim's favorite dinners tonight. So grab something cozy to drink, settle in, and let's spend some time together. You know those little projects that sit on your mental to-do list for months? The ones you walk past every day and say, one day I'll get to that. Well, this pantry was one of those for me. It's a small pantry, nothing fancy, just a tucked away little spot in our kitchen that I had big hopes for. But for a while, it was just chaos. I'm talking mismatched bins, some open bags of flour, and shelves that were barely holding on. The clutter was starting to stress me out every single time I opened the door. It was one of those spaces that made me feel like I was falling behind, even when everything else in the house was clean. So today, I decided I've had enough. Opened the door, looked at the mess, and I said, okay, that's it. I'm done waiting. And of course, Tim was right there ready to help me. It's wild how much can fit into a small pantry when it's not organized. Looks like a small grocery store exploded in my kitchen. But the real moment that made me laugh was when Tim, with his bare hands, broke down those old wobbly shelves. I'm not even kidding. He reached in there and started ripping those things out like a man on a mission. I stood there watching with my camera in hand thinking, well, there's no turning back now. They've been screwed in forever. But time, moisture, and wear, they'd warped them. Tim didn't even bother with a screwdriver, just grit and determination. I was so grateful, though, because I knew I wouldn't have had the strength to take them out myself. That's something I love about him. When it comes to things like this, he just jumps in and gets it done. Once the shelves were out, the pantry looked kind of sad and bare, just an empty space with unfinished walls and a scuffed up floor. I could already picture what it was going to look like. You know how you just get that vision in your head? Well, that's what I was getting. Tim started assembling the new metal shelves that we picked up. Nothing fancy, just simple white metal shelves, easy to wipe down and won't sag over time. Watching him piece it together really made me smile. Sorting out the screws, measuring, double-checking, he's always so patient with stuff like that. Even when I'm hovering and asking, are you sure that piece goes there? I wanted this pantry to be more functional. I didn't need it to look like something out of a magazine. I just wanted a place where I could see everything clearly. No more expired cans shoved to the back. No more digging through bags to find what I needed. I wanted to feel peaceful every time I opened the door. That's all I wanted. Once the shelves were in, I wiped them down and started organizing. My favorite part. I'd pulled out all the jars, baskets, containers that I'd collected over time, labeled a few things, grouped the baking ingredients together, tucked the snacks in one spot. Felt like such a victory. It's amazing how something so small like a clean pantry can make your whole day feel lighter. I do want to eventually paint the inside of the pantry a fresh white, something bright and clean. Maybe lay down some linoleum tile that's easier to clean. But for now, this feels like a breath of fresh air. Something satisfying about creating order from chaos. About finally getting around to a task that you've been putting off. Not because you were lazy, but because life is just a lot. And when you finally tackle it, it feels like a weight comes right off your shoulders. And even more than that, this little project, it reminded me how blessed I am to have Tim, to have support, and to have someone who doesn't hesitate to roll up his sleeves, doesn't mind breaking a sweat, and who supports these little dreams that I have for our home. He didn't complain. He doesn't ask why I wanted to tear out the shelves on a random afternoon. He just jumped in and helped. That kind of support, that's something that I will never take for granted. Tim walked in while I was finishing up and he says, "Wow, that looks really good." And I don't know, those words meant a lot coming from him. He doesn't say stuff like that unless he really means it. That moment standing there together in front of a space we both tackled made me realize something. Homemaking's not about pretty decor or fancy renovations. Sometimes it's about reclaiming one little spot in your home, making it work better for your life, your routines, your peace of mind. That pantry may be small, and the floor still needs linoleum and the walls are still unpainted, but it's better, and better is enough. When I look around my home, there's a deep sense of comfort knowing that almost every single wall tells a little story, a story painted by my own hand. I've always believed that a home should reflect the heart of the person who lives in it, not just through the furniture or the throw pillows, but through the things we choose to hang on the walls, the colors that we gravitate toward, the memories we tuck into each corner. And for me, one of the most meaningful and budget-friendly ways I've brought my home to life has been through my paintings. When I paint something, it becomes more than just a decoration. It becomes a memory, like the one of the little mouse with the macaroons. It's whimsical and playful. Every time I look at it, I smile. I remember how fun it was to paint. That's the kind of joy, you just can't buy that at a store. Another piece, the one of the girl in the field of flowers with her back turned, that one came from a quiet place in my heart, and it reminds me of a peaceful solitude, of being wrapped up in nature with no distractions. I hung that in a corner where I like to read and sip tea. It feels right here, like a gentle whisper to slow down and breathe. One thing I love about using my own paintings for decor is that they're not permanent. If I get tired of a piece, I could swap it out for a new one, or I could repaint over it, give it new life. It's flexible, it's personal, and it's affordable. That's a win-win in my book. So you've been staring at blank walls or debating what to hang in that one awkward corner. Maybe this is your nudge. You don't have to be a professional artist. You just have to be willing to try. Pick up a brush, let yourself play, make a mess, pour your feelings out in color and texture, then hang it up and live with it. You might be surprised at how much joy it brings. You'll notice in this video as I move room to room, each painting adds its own little warmth to the space. There's the peaceful one of the red barn in the snow hanging, and it reminds me of winters growing up. Here in Michigan, when I was younger, before I moved to Florida, things felt quiet still. The snow softened the whole world outside. And there's a cheerful sunflower painting in the kitchen, bold, bright, just a little messy, kind of like me when I'm baking. Brings sunshine to the room, even on gloomy days. I think every home needs that, something that lifts your mood without saying a word. I also hung my piece with the dolphins jumping at sunset. Has those rich oranges and calming blues. Just makes you breathe a little deeper when you see it. That's what art can do when it comes from a place of emotion. It shifts the whole energy of a room. And then there's the painting of animals, the cows, the goats peeking through the fence, the birds perched on a wagon wheel. And they bring this country charm into the home. It's so personal to us. They make the house feel alive and filled with personality, like it has its own heartbeat. Some pieces they're more detailed and serious, and others are playful and lighthearted. That's the beauty of it. I'm not trying to match a theme or follow some trend. I'm decorating from the heart. And over time, it's created this patchwork of expression throughout our home, a personal imprint, room by room. Tim's even gotten into it, not painting, but encouraging me. He'll see a blank wall and say, "You should do one for over there." And sure enough, I'll go digging through my supplies and start sketching out an idea. He knows how much it means to me, and that support has made it all the more special. It became a form of therapy, a creative outlet, and eventually a part of my home's identity. Now when I walk through the house, I see little pieces of my soul on every wall. And that, to me, is more valuable than any store-bought art could ever be. I wanted to take a moment and share something really special. My newest memoir, Becoming. It's now available on Amazon. The book is about the after the trauma, after the heartbreak, after survival. It's about the slow, sacred work of healing. In Becoming, I open up about what it looks like to find your footing again, to rediscover who you are when life has tried to take everything from you. I write about rebuilding trust, learning to live with mental illness, nurturing faith, and finding joy in the everyday. It's gentle, reflective, and deeply personal. Not everything is tied up in a neat little bow, because real healing rarely is. But there's hope woven through every single page. If you've already read Unbroken, then you know the storms that I have already come through. That book tells a story of surviving. Becoming is about growing, about learning to love your life again, even when it still carries scars. Both Becoming and Unbroken are available now on Amazon. You'll find the links down below. Thank you for walking with me through every chapter. I had some leftover Pioneer woven fabric and decided to make a simple kitchen towel and matching curtains. I hemmed the edges and folded the towel in half to hang over the stove. For the curtains, I just sewed 2 quick panels with a rod pocket. It was easy, budget-friendly. Now my kitchen has a pop of color and personality, all from scraps that I already had. You know, some of my favorite memories are made in the kitchen, not just when I'm baking or filming, but when Tim and I are cooking together, something simple. Today I want to include a little glimpse into one of those moments. Tim showing me how he makes his Coca-Cola pork chops. It's one of those recipes that's so easy. You almost feel like you're cheating. But let me tell you, the flavor is so good. Comfort food at its finest. Do a cup of that?
Yeah.
Have you made this before?
Yep.
Does it taste like Coke?
No.
Tastes good.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want the rubber spatula to get all that?
Yeah.
Spatula?
Yeah.
What else you need?
Cool. I got it out, Richard.
We started by getting everything ready. Just 4 ingredients: a cup of ketchup, a cup of Coca-Cola, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and a little salt and pepper. That's it. You mix it all together and brush it right onto the pork chops. It creates a sweet, tangy glaze that soaks in while it bakes. What's the Coke supposed to do?
It's supposed to keep it marinated and gives it like a really good flavor. You know, it's like it makes it tender.
Oh.
A little bit of pepper in there. Give it that spice. And some salt.
Bubbled. I do that.
I get this made up here on this pan. You could also use that on chicken too.
This here?
Yep. Yeah, that's good. Tender.
Is this all you put in it? You don't put garlic or nothing like that? No? Just salt, pepper, brown sugar, and ketchup?
Yep.
That's it?
Yep.
That's easy. Yep. And it gives it enough flavor?
Yep.
No paprika or...
Nope.
Tim's always been so patient, showing me his little cooking tricks. He doesn't say much, but when he does, I'm definitely listening because the man knows what he's doing. And I love that we get to share these quiet, everyday moments together. How long is this marinade for?
I'd probably give it for about a good 30 minutes or so.
Oh, really? Not overnight or anything? Just 30 minutes?
I mean, you can. I mean, yeah, if you can leave it overnight or whatever, it might taste a lot better. But,
Oh, okay. Like
yeah.
the flavors. Once we had the chops coated, we covered the dish with foil. We popped it into the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Bakes for about an hour. Just enough time for the sauce to thicken and those pork chops to get nice and tender. While they're baking, we usually take a minute to sit, talk about the day, or just enjoy the quiet. Cooking together doesn't have to be fancy. Sometimes it's just about being in the same space, sharing something together that's simple, and finding joy in that.
you really don't have to marinate it. The only way to let it set, but you can probably do it now if you want to, I guess.
What's that?
Put it in the oven.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
it doesn't have to marinate?
You don't have to.
Have you done it with marinating
Yeah.
and without marinating?
It's either way, but you know, I mean, as long as you let it set and all that stuff or whatever, it'll be good for, you know, where the absorb the juice.
Okay, so we're gonna put it in. So what temperature?
350.
350. Okay, so we'll give that 5 minutes and let that preheat, and then I'll do these up, and after these are done up, then do I gotta cover it when I put it in?
No.
You sure it's not gonna dry it out?
No, it's fine. Because there's enough juice.
Okay.
It'll be fine. I think I already covered it.
Oh, I would. I don't know. It's up to you. I would only because I think it would make it more tender.
Yeah.
I think it would. I would still leave it in the full hour.
Yeah.
When they came out of the oven, that sauce had thickened just right, bubbling over the edges. The pork chops were fork tender, and the sweet glaze had caramelized just enough to cling to the meat. We usually pair it with something easy, maybe mashed potatoes or green beans. But honestly, they're so flavorful they could stand all alone.
Good?
Mm. 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 Mm, delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
They're good. Yep. Good dinner.
Oh my gosh, this is so good. I say we eat. Thank you so much for spending a bit of your day with me. Whether it was painting, organizing, or just watching Tim and I cook dinner. I hope it left you feeling a little more inspired and a whole lot cozier. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who could use a little comfort today. I'll see you in the next one. And until then, take care and keep finding beauty in the little things.